What is up, everybody? And we are out here for a short hike. So, hill walking right here on the mountains of Cebu City. And I am here stuck again because of the rain. So, we're taking shelter under this chapel right here. And as I'm waiting for the rain to stop, I have noticed several interesting plants right in front of me. So if I'm going to zoom in on there, you will notice a lot of castor bean plant, and I've collected a few samples right here. So this is the leaf of the castor bean plant. So it has these serrations on the sides with approximately 7 to 9 lobes on its leaves. So castor bean plant, this plant is native to tropical east of Africa, and this has been introduced here in the Philippines. Castor bean is an invasive species of plant. It's nice to have around the garden due to its color and texture, but I would not recommend it if you have kids or pets at home. The scientific name of this plant is Ricinus communis, and the one main component of this plant that is considered to be toxic is the ricin. So ricin is 6,000 times more poisonous than cyanide, and it's not good to have around at home if you have kids or pets with you. So it also has tiny pollens that is, when released to the air, can also potentially cause allergic reactions to certain types of people. Not all, but some people are affected by it. So the main toxins of castor bean plant, or the ricin, you can get it from its seeds or beans inside. It's not really a bean, so it's seeds, and these are the green ones. And if you're going to harvest the seeds to extract some oil, since this is also the source for castor oil, so you must pick the mature seeds and let it dry under the sun. I also harvested a few dried ones. So the brown seeds, these are the dried seeds. Castor bean plant is the main source of castor oil. Castor oil is a highly medicinal oil that is right now very popular in the market. And if you remember the product Castrol, it's a popular oil being sold in the market as a lubricant for car engines. Castor oil has been a candidate for biofuel production. And also, if you did not know, so castor bean, or the toxic component of this one, which is the ricin, it has been featured in a popular TV show which is called Breaking Bad. The main character of that movie used the seed of the castor bean to extract ricin from it, and it takes a few chemical procedure. So it takes a chemist to enable to extract the ricin. So in the Guinness Book of World Record, castor bean is one of the most common poisonous plants found anywhere around the globe. Accidental poisoning rarely occurs when it comes to castor bean. So for a person to be intoxicated or poisoned with the castor bean, so you would have to chew at least 3 to 5 pieces of these fruits, and inside of this fruit is I think there's might be around 4 seeds in it, and a person might react differently, but there are a few symptoms like nausea, confusion, vomiting, headaches, and lots of symptoms that a person could go through. And also, if you didn't know, the dry seeds of the castor, you can also use this to start a fire. So somebody was asking to my post, how do you use this seeds or fruit to start a fire. So we will try to demonstrate later, maybe after the rain will stop. I don't think this rain is going to stop any sooner, but at least it's just tiny droplets of showers. It's not really pouring down hard, so we can still manage to hike and maybe do a little demonstration. Also, castor bean plant is it is also known as tangan-tangan in Bisaya. So if you're not very familiar with the castor bean, so maybe you can try the word tangan-tangan if you're going to ask the locals or Filipinos who might have known about this plant. So we'll just try to find a spot where we can have a shade, maybe under a tree, and demonstrate a few fire starting methods with the castor bean seeds. So just another additional information, I have also noticed that castor beans would occur in such places like this one. So everything you see around here is a karst mountain. So karst, I'll just put a definition down below. So it's mostly mountains that have rocky features like this one, and lots of limestone. So that is the area where castor beans would occur. And just right on top of me, there's also another very interesting plant. So it's called alagaw or argao. It's actually where the place Argao is based from. So it's this plant right here. So alagaw is also a host plant of many different insects, which includes butterflies, bees, different species of wasps, and including moths. And also right here we have another interesting plant. So this plant is a neonucleae species called hambabalud or hambabawud in Bisaya. So they mostly grow in rocky areas. So those are its flowers. It is a hardwood species of plant, so most of the locals would use it to make tool handles, so the handles of their machete. So they are mostly made using the wood of the hambabawud or hambabalud. Here's a closer look of the flower. So it looks very much similar to a bangkal, but it's a different species. So we are now back at our vehicle since the rain actually did not stop, and I think it's actually not raining right now, but we are already here back in our parking spot. So we will just continue with our topic. So again, these are the seeds I harvested, seeds of the castor bean, and we are going to use the dry seeds to demonstrate how to use it to start a fire. So, and by the way, I would highly recommend that you choose the seeds or fruit that are larger. So the larger the seeds that you harvest, the higher the concentration of oil it has on its individual seeds. So the ones I harvested, so these are just the smaller varieties, but I know there are other varieties of the castor bean. It's actually just the same species that are very much larger than this. Maybe it depends on where they've actually occurred. So I find these seeds much smaller than the ones I've seen before, so we will just try anyways. So what we are going to do is just we pluck out the seeds, the actual seeds that are inside these pods. So these are hard shell pods, so we just remove the hard shell So I'm cracking it open. And also a reminder, so after, if you're going to perform some of these methods, please do so wash your hands afterwards. You don't want accidents to occur or accidental poisoning to yourself and to the other people around you. Okay, so this is an example of the actual seed. So it's white and fleshy. So we will take out maybe 4 to 5 seeds so we can properly demonstrate. So after breaking the hard shell, this is what you get. This tiny creepy looking little seed that looks like a flea. So you still have to pluck this one open. Here I'm just using my phone so you would have a better view of the seed. So the white one, that is what you want. Okay, so since the seeds we harvested are so tiny, so they are quite smaller than the ones I've seen before, so we will just use the cork opener of my Swiss Army knife and poke the seeds on there so you can get a better vision of it. We're going to use a lighter to light the seeds up. So once the seeds start to heat up, it's going to release castor oils that are from inside it. See how those seeds are burning up. Okay, so the more seeds you can pluck out of those seed pods, then the more fire you'll be able to produce. So that's castor oil burning right there. So a few of these seeds, you can use it to start a fire, just like this one. So again, so those are just, so I just use up like 3 seeds from these pods, and you can actually see the oil dripping off of it. So this is the actual oil. It's black because it's been burnt. So for better applications, you can actually mash a few of this that you can soak with the cotton pads and use the oil to make a good fire starting material. Just be careful when processing it, since again, castor beans are toxic and poisonous. And again, don't forget to wash your hands. And that wraps up today's episode, and I hope you guys learned something from this one. So to summarize everything up, so these are castor bean seeds, so keep out of reach of children, also with your pets. Bye, see you on the next one.